The 2023 Formula One season calendar was released on Tuesday this week, and already teams are unhappy with the record-breaking schedule. Next year sees Monaco staying on the schedule with a new 3-year deal made with the Principality and F1, while China makes its return after a 4-year absence due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And of course, Las Vegas makes its debut, scheduled in for November the 18th. While F1 CEO Stefano Domenicali was excited about the schedule's release, the teams are a little less thrilled about some aspects of the new season coming next year, along with the fact that they were apparently only notified just 3 hours or so before the World Motorsport Council's vote on the calendar that took place on Tuesday. Now, the triple header at the end of the season in America, Mexico and Brazil is still to be officially ratified, but the calendar announcement seems to be a way of F1 forcing through its proposed schedule. Other problems arose after the release of the schedule, including a double booking at the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa, with the date on the 2023 calendar the same as the traditional date for the 24-hour race that takes place at the same track. That has now had to be moved as the Belgian Grand Prix takes place in late July, as opposed to its usual time of late August after the summer break. IndyCar veteran Graham Rahal has launched an attack on Formula One after American racer Colton Herta was denied a super license exemption to join AlphaTauri for next season by the FIA. Now, Herta doesn't have the required points for a super license to drive in Formula One, but Red Bull Racing were hoping the FIA would grant an exception to the IndyCar driver, with Herta replacing Pierre Gasly at AlphaTauri, with the Frenchman looking to move to Alpine. With no super license granted to the young American, however, all moves are now off, and Rahal, a fellow IndyCar racer, sees a number of problems in the current system, with the super license points harder to acquire in IndyCar than if drivers were in F2 or F3. They want US companies' money, they want wealthy US individuals' money. They don't care about the rest, said the IndyCar driver. Always has been that way, always will be. Slating the hiring of pay drivers in Formula One, Rahal continued, "For those who want to say that Colton Herta didn't earn the right, you're off base. F1 has had ride buyers for years who don't hold a candle to CH. Facts." And finally, Danny Ricciardo has accepted he may not be returning to Formula One next season as the Australian is moved on from McLaren. "I've certainly accepted if I'm not to be on the grid next year, I'm okay with that," said Ricciardo. "I've accepted that I'm not going to do everything, or my team's not going to do everything, just to put me on the grid if it's not right or doesn't make sense." It appears the Australian is out of the running at Alpine, and while there could be an opening at Haas next season, depending on what happens with Mick Schumacher, it's thought unlikely Ricciardo would want to join the American outfit, with the Australian already admitting that he just doesn't want to jump in a car for the sake of it. Let us know where you think Danny Ricciardo will end up, and of course when he could potentially return to F1 if he does leave for next year in the comments section below. GPFans.com for all the latest news in Formula One.